Here's the truth about America and about the young generation. This is a big issue because lots of Americans right now can't afford an apartment. I live in New Hampshire, which is a state with no income tax, and I have to pay $2,700 for a simple two-bedroom apartment. I can't afford that because the job I have right now doesn't even pay that much. So most Americans have to get a second, third, sometimes even four jobs in order to simply pay for their mortgage, pay for their apartment, pay for their families. And everyone's asking, like, why are so many young people becoming so radicalized? That's your answer right there. It's because they keep saying they're going to do something about it, and then they never do. Like, the president, whoever we elect, they're like, we're going to fix everything. Like, oh yeah, I have a solution right here. It's going to work. It doesn't work. It never does. Because all they do is just spout lies. All this, you can call it whatever you want. I call it the system. That's all they do. They don't fix anything. I don't think the housing crisis has been this bad. Not even since the crash in like 2007, 2008, when Obama was president. And everyone's saying like, oh, he's the worst president we ever had. That's not the truth. Because it's never been this bad before. And as a young American, like looking forward in America's future, I don't think we have a future right now. We're gonna have a big crisis on our hands, where there's gonna be so many homeless people on the streets, and all these politicians are gonna start having suggestions like, "Oh, we should do this. We should put these people into like basically concentration camps, because you don't want homeless people on your streets because they make your cities look disgusting and dirty, but at the same time, they've been caused by your issues, by issues you refuse to fix. So don't go saying that we're radicalized because, we spend all day on the internet, we look at our phones, and, the phones are like the little face hugger things from Aliens. No, that's not the truth. The truth is, we want a solution. We want answers. But the answers that these people keep giving us don't work because they refuse to even make them work. Like, Trump, didn't he say, like, be a stronger economy? Biden, build back better? What have those guys done? What have they done? Like, I know Biden did something about student debt, and Trump kind of fixed some things with inflation a little bit. Didn't really know as much of a difference. But that's it. It's all just spectacle. Like, Biden was mostly a puppet the whole time, and Trump's out there trying to start a war with, like, Venezuela and Greenland and Denmark. Why? Why do we elect these people into office? And I'm saying this as a right-wing person. I'm saying this as a guy who voted for Donald Trump. I'm regretting my decision right now because he's not who he says he is. He's a liar. He's a liar. And I know there's be a lot of left-wing, centrist people out there like, I told you so. Well, dude, like, you have to look at it from our perspective. Some guy comes over there and says, we're going to fix everything. Well, that you have a cult now following you. And that's the issue about American politics right now. You're either on the left or you're on the right. You're either communist or you're fascist. There's no middle ground anymore. There's no, independent. There's none of that stuff. It's either Democrat, Republican, conservative, or liberal. Red or blue. That's it. It's like the Matrix pills. Take the red pill or the blue pill. That's where you're sticking with for the rest of your life. You're welcome. But I am something called a libertarian, which means I advocate for no more big government, which means no more of these agencies, the Department of Defense, Department of State, Department of Education. We need a department for everything, huh? Do we? Do we really need a department for everything? Every little thing? I don't think so. Because that makes everything so much more complicated. Because you got bureaucracy. You have all these agents working for this department now. And they all respond to one man. Can you guess who that is? The President of the United States. I know Congress is supposed to nominate them, confirm them. Which they do. That's democratic. But it seems like Congress is also kind of aligned with the president. So is the Supreme Court. So the president isn't a dictator, but at the same time, he's not exactly, not powerful. He's definitely he's a hybrid. I call him a hybrid. He's a hybrid between democratic and authoritarian. And that's what scares me as an American. I don't like the direction our country is going down right now. There's been so much political violence over the past few years. Like Trump, 2024, got his ear clipped. Charlie Kirk, last year, got shot in the neck. Last year was the 2 Minnesota lawmakers who were shot in their homes. Nancy Pelosi's husband got smacked in the face with a hammer. Like, you can hate these people. That's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. But celebrating someone's death is never something to do. It makes you an awful person. It makes you a piece of trash if you're celebrating someone's death. Like, everyone's celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Charlie Kirk was actually a nice guy. He had a husband, what am I talking about? He had a wife, and he had 2 children. And he is 31 years old. And a coward took him out with a gun. You see what I'm talking about now? Donald Trump. Hate him or like him, I don't care. No one should ever get their ear clipped off by a gun because of something they say. We need to go back to, we need to have talks, discussions, debates between each other. The one side can't just pull out a gun and shoot the other in the face for saying, oh, I disagree with this. That's not the way we do things. That's not the way America's supposed to be. That's not united. You see what I'm saying? We need to be united. We need to have more of a union. That's exactly what we're supposed to be. We haven't seen levels of this division since probably the 1860s, which, if you remember, is right before the Confederates seceded from the Union and started the Civil War. No one wants a war, especially not me. I am a big advocate against war. But if we continue on this trek, someone's going to screw up. Someone's going to shoot the wrong person, and all of a sudden, both sides are against each other. And it's not going to be just politicians getting shot. It's going to be American citizens getting shot. You see? This is why I'm scared for the future of our nation. And I'm saying this as a Gen Z person. I am completely new to this whole arena. There's probably a couple of things I'm saying that are wrong, that some people not even agree with. And that's okay. You can debate me in the comments. I didn't get enough sleep last night. You debate me in the comments. And we will talk about it peacefully as citizens, as people. Because I think conversations can still be had that are civil. No need to resort to arguments. No need to resort to violent attacks. No need to try to dox someone or Zoom bomb them or, insult them, call them a pig or whatever. There's no need for that. That just breeds more violence. It's just making people more radical. And that's how you solve the radicalization problem in America. You deliver what you promise, and you stop acting like an idiot. Do what you were elected to do. Of course, no politicians will listen to this, but maybe it's up to you guys to listen to it. Anyone who's watching this video, I'm speaking to you. We can do better. We have to do better. Because if we don't, what's the world going to be like for our children? Is it going to be paradise, or is it going to be a nuclear wasteland where everything's dead? Because we failed our kids before they are even born. Like, there's so many people saying that, like, they wish they could take some stuff back. It's not too late to try to turn back. We need to turn back as a society. Because the way we're going right now it's leading to our self-destruction. And everyone's saying that's right-wing talk. It's not right-wing talk. It's the truth. If we don't stop the trajectory we're on right now, civilization will not exist. Because we're eroding ourselves to be more open, to be more, inclusive to other people. It's called assimilation. You need to assimilate in society. Adapt to the culture, adapt to the rules, adapt to the Constitution or whatever governing document there is. You can do that peacefully, and you can still be accepted as a citizen of that country. There's no need to say this race is better than the other race, or this race is better than that race, because we already had a country do that. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a country that fell 80 years ago. Did we learn a lesson from that? Or do we need a reminder? Because that's the way it's going right now. There's so many people out there who are very upset over policies, over agendas, over decisions made by their respective governments. Like the UK, for example, everyone is saying they might become the next evil Germany. And I tend to agree with that, because the way it's going right now, you see all the protests from the far right, they might be small right now, but remember, the Mustache Man and his allies were also small in 1929 or whatever. And then they became big. They won in 1933, and you know what happened next. We need to be careful not to repeat the past. We can't let the past become the future again. The past is supposed to be what we're supposed to learn from. Learn from the mistakes. Learn from everything we've done wrong. Please, for the sake of our country, for the sake of our civilization, for the sake of our children who aren't even born yet, we need to do better. We can't keep electing these clowns into office. Like Gen Z, I speak as one of you. We need to deliver a better world. No more radicalized politics. We need to focus on what makes us thrive. And right now, that's fixing the economy. Because right now, lots of Americans can't afford it. They have to resort to SNAP, which the government just tried to ban. Remember that? They tried to get rid of SNAP a few months ago. So we can't even rely on that anymore, it seems. Welfare, they're trying to cut it out. Once that happens, everyone's back out on the streets. Homeless. We're heading towards a crisis that I don't think the world has even seen, because we're so connected everywhere. If we collapse, if the economy collapses this year or next year, it'll be the worst economic disaster in history. Worse than the Great Depression. Mark my words. It's happening. It's going to happen. The signs are there. They keep saying it's going to happen under this president or that president. It's going to happen regardless of who's president, because each president isn't doing what they're saying they're going to do. And the institutions are going to fail. The pillars that hold them up are going to crumble. And your savings, everything you've earned by working at McDonald's or whatever, bye-bye. It goes gone. That's what I'm worried about. And it's up to us to fix that. We need to do better. We need to do better.